Blade is out here smacking up the competition without mercy. And let's talk about the different teams that you can use in order for him to do that for you too. What's going on, YouTube? Ledger here once again, this time at you again with some more Honkai Star Rail. And I wanted to sit here and talk about Blade's team. Blade has proven to me to be a great unit. Awesome. Actually, better than I expected. I knew he was going to be good, but I didn't know he was going to be this good. And I mean, I did make a video on him previously, a couple videos, and then the last one I made, I did talk about a couple of negative things to watch out for when it comes to Blade if you do want to get him. And those things do hold true, but the positive sides are here bright as day, and it's looking real good. So I did want to talk about the different ways that you can use him, the different units you can use with him in order to bring out his best potential, okay? So first, let's talk about some of the hyper carry teams that you have with him. Right now, I probably have the best team that you can use with him right now, which is Blade, Bronya, Luocha, and Silverwolf. This is a very expensive team, guys. I understand that. There's 3 limited units and then 1 5-star that a lot of people are looking for. And that's okay, all right? If you do have those units, then you have Blade's best team right off the bat. Good to go. Boom, you beat the game. But if you're a regular person, you don't have all those units, then, you know, this just this, you know what the top looks like, all right? So if you don't have all these units, it's not the end of the world, because you can replace these units out with other units. Now, Bronya, I'd probably say, is the most important person on this team, because Bronya and Blade together is a match made in heaven. It is beautiful, it's wonderful, just like how she is with Sealy, you know? And another thing too, actually, I want to point out, a little random, but the fact that Bronya is a standard unit and she's this good as a Harmony unit just shows me in the future how cracked Harmony is going to be. Because keep in mind, the pattern that we normally see is the fact that we normally see is that you have the 4 stars, which are good, the 5 stars, which are better, and then you have the limited 5 stars, which are the best form. So if you do get a Harmony limited 5 star, oh man, I can't imagine the destruction that these DPS units are going to be able to do. But back on topic. Bronya is probably the most important thing to him right here in his team comps right here. So if you have Bronya, then you're looking good, you're looking clean, right? But you can use other Harmony units with him. You can use Yukong, who gives, you know, crit rate and crit damage. You can use Ting Yun, which helps buff up his burst and gives him a little bit of damage boost. The attack percentage is just not going to cut it too much, but it is something, you know, it's better than nothing. In terms of replacing the other people on the team, Luocha is obviously another really good unit to have with him because of how much healing he does. But if you have another strong defensive unit, like Bailu is good, she also raises max HP, so she might be able to buff him a little bit when it comes to that. And she can revive him if he does die. So you do have that. Then you also have Natasha, who can work. Just don't use preservation units. Do not use preservation units on him, because these preservation units, they take the aggro, and that is going to keep him from getting hit and keeping him from doing his counterattack, and that's going to lower his DPS. So I don't recommend using preservation units on him, right? If you have to, you have to. Fine, whatever. It's not like you can't use them when he's with a preservation unit. It's just not a good idea. Might as well put the preservation units on the other team. But Natasha Obalu will also work with him. Then you have Silverwolf. Silverwolf can be replaced with somebody like Pella. Now Pella is somebody that's great too, because she reduces defense in the AoE manner. So the fact of the matter is, Blade is a very good AoE damage dealer. He's not a single target damage dealer. He's an AoE damage dealer. He's better than Erudition usually is, so there's that. But he is a very good damage dealer in AoE fashion. So if you have somebody that shreds defense in the AoE, then that's going to be almost just as good. You know, Silverwolf, of course, is a better unit, but if you don't have her, Pella is not a loss. I'll tell you that right now. You can also use Welt instead of Pella. He works good too, but the only issue with Welt is the fact that he slows down the enemy a lot. So he does keep the enemy from attacking you, even if he doesn't break them. So that is also going to lower his Blade's DPS a little bit by having him being hit less because the enemy can't attack as much. But it's not the end of the world. It's still going to be able to function fine. The enemy's still going to attack him. The enemy's still going to get their turn eventually. And it's not like, yeah, so that's perfectly fine. He does work well. So, well, it does make another good teammate for him. So, in these hyper carry situations, what I usually like to stick by is either having 2 harmonies, a harmony and a agility, or 2 agilities that debuff the enemy in a way that your DPS can do more damage. Those type of team comps are going to be good ones for hyper carry Blade, and those are probably going to be the more popular ones. Then you have sub DPS Blade. Now you can use Blade as a sub DPS, and it actually is pretty good. I tested it myself, and I was still able to beat Memory of Chaos 10 using Blade as a sub DPS, because the fact of the matter is he uses his E, and then he's able to attack 4 times with his enhanced basic attack. And every time he does it, he doesn't use a skill point when he does that. Right? He doesn't gain a skill point, but he doesn't use one when he's doing those enhanced basic attacks. Therefore, he's very skill point efficient, which allows you to use a DPS that actually is skill point hungry. So by doing that, it allows you to be able to put another damage dealer in and be able to work just fine. I tried him with Jing Yuan, and he works. It works. It works fantastically. And Jing Yuan is somebody who wants to use a skill point every single turn, so it works. And those teams, the Harmony unit I do like to use is Yukong, because she's really good at buffing more than one unit, because she buffs the entire team, even if it is just for two actions. But the fact of the matter is, if you speed tune correctly, then it works out perfectly fine, and I do like to do that. So Yukong is who I do recommend as a Harmony unit in those teams, but you can do Sealy as a damage dealer. You can do, or if you have one of the limited, if you have another one of the limited DPSs, limited 5-star unit DPSs, have them be on your other team, and then have one of your other DPSs work together with Blade. Therefore, that way, that team can deal more damage. Let's say if you have Dong Hong and you're fighting a wind enemy, you can have those 2 work together. I typically don't like him working with another destruction unit because he's going to share the aggro with them. But, you can use another hunt unit, another erudition unit that you have. That's not one of the limited ones. Therefore, you can deal more damage that way. So that's the thing there. And then same thing when it comes to defensive unit. I still don't recommend using preservation unit. Don't recommend using Japar with him, because that's going to keep him from taking damage. I don't recommend covering him with a March shield, things like that. So just make sure you put him on teams with healers versus shielders. Those are a couple of ways that you can use him in some of the teams that we do have available to us, using the different units that you have in the game there. So those are some of the things I did want to touch on. I do think Blade is a pretty versatile unit. He does look like he's going to work well in various different team comps, as long as you're careful about the things that aren't going to help him out as much, like giving him a bunch of attack percentage or shielding him when he wants to get a hit. So those are things that to look forward to, and I'm sure that we're going to get future units that might be able to help him out even more. Like if he has somebody that increases his aggro and heals him, that'd be pretty good. But yeah, he's just somebody that's just gonna get better and better as time goes on, and that's good to see. That's lovely to see. So yeah, if your account is missing somebody, if you're missing a damage dealer, then he's definitely a good pick to choose to put on your different teams, regardless of the other DPS that you do have. All right, so I hope that it was helpful for you guys. Definitely like the video. If you do like the content here, comment your thoughts down below. Is there any teams that you found that did well for you in higher levels of the Memory of Chaos? Is there anything that you think I missed? Is there anything that you're looking to choose in the future? Let me know in the comments down below. And also subscribe to the channel if you do like content like this. All right, with that on to here, let you know.